Hi boys and girls, welcome back to story time. So this past week we've been talking a lot about the weather, about how on some days it can be very sunny, like it was this weekend. We had the sun on our face. Hopefully you guys got outside to ride your bikes or go to the park or just play on the swing set. Some days, like yesterday and today, oh boy, all of those water particles get stuck in the clouds, and when they get heavy, they rain down. We've seen a lot of rain lately, and I think we're going to see rain for the next couple of days. There are also days when the wind blows and it makes things move. Now, we can't see the wind, right? Because it's invisible. But we can feel it. If you blow on your hand, that's what the wind feels like. So today I'm going to read you a story called The Windy Day. The author's name is Anna Milbourne, and there's two authors actually. The other author's name is Alina Temporian. They wrote the words in the book, and I think they're also the illustrators. They drew the pictures. So let's get started and see what happens on a windy day. Now here I see lots of leaves blowing in the wind. When the wind blows hard, it can knock some leaves off the trees, that's for sure. Okay, here's the title page, The Windy Day. And what are these kids doing on a windy day? Flying a kite. Windy days are the best days to lift a kite into the air. So, have you ever wondered what sways the trees and makes leaves dance across the grass? See the clothes on the clothesline waving back and forth, and the trees are bent over. It's nothing you can see, it's nothing you can hold, but if you go outside on a windy day, you can feel it. It's the air moving around. It ruffles your hair and snatches your hat, almost as if it wants to play. Picture of the dog's noses up in the air. When it's a windy day, dogs can smell lots of smells floating through the air. My dog likes to do that. And here you can see the wind is making their hair blow, and it's lifting his hat right off of his head. If you roll out the string of a big bright kite, then throw the kite into the air and run as fast as you can, the wind might catch it and make it fly. See how they're running to get that kite up into the air? Have you ever tried that? Flying a kite is a lot of fun. It dips and it dives and it swoops around, held up by the invisible wind. All at once, a blustery gust, whoosh, a gust is a strong wind, tosses the kite into a tree. The wind is rough and tumbly along the cliff. It rushes in from the sea and stumbles over the bumpy land. So, let me show you the picture first of the gusty wind tossing the kite around. And then, it got stuck in a tree. Now you can see here in the background the water. Maybe it's the sea or the ocean or a big lake like Lake Michigan. When you live closer to a lake, a lot of times it's a bit more windy. But that's not always bad. Out on the open sea, the wind blows steadily for miles and miles. It fills a boat's sails, making them billow, and pushes the boat across the waves. So that's lots of fun. Has anybody ever ridden in a sailboat? Now, if you're in a sailboat, it's not as much fun when the wind isn't blowing. But when the wind is gusty and blowing, it fills the sails with air and it makes you move, and that's when it's fun. High in the sky, seagulls cry, and their voices are carried away by the wind. They tilt their wings to catch the breeze and ride it back to shore. So the wind helps birds go faster and faster in the sky. I bet it would be fun to be a bird. It's too blowy for little birds to fly around, so they huddle up on a branch and wait for the wind to go away. At the foot of the tree, there's a sheltered spot where animals hide from the chilly wind, tucked into their holes and piles of fallen leaves. So here's a picture of the baby birds, and they're huddling close on the branch so they don't get blown around by the wind. And then here you can see at the bottom of the tree in a little hole is a little rabbit. And since the wind sometimes makes the air temperature chilly, he's hiding up down here in his little hole in his home where it's warm and cozy. As the wind rustles a sycamore tree, its twirly seeds are shaken free. They spin down, 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 and down. The seeds lie scattered on the ground. Soon they'll start to grow into new sycamore trees. So here you can see the seeds coming off of the tree and spinning down, down, down. Sometimes we call these seeds helicopters, just because of the funny way that they fall to the ground. And when they land on the ground and they settle into the soil and they get some water from the rain, they'll start to grow up, up, up into new trees. Further along the cliff tops stand a row of tall white windmills. Wind blowing in from the sea slowly pushes their sails around. The turning windmills make electricity, which is sent through the wires to a nearby town. It lights up the lights there and makes all kinds of things work. So I don't know if you've ever driven through parts of Michigan. You can see these big, tall windmills from far away. And when the wind blows them and they turn, they make electricity that lights up our lights inside of our houses. If the restless wind ever gets tired of blowing. But even when the wind dies down where you are, it's always blowing somewhere. So here's the picture of the wind. Not really blowing much anymore. You can see the clothes are still on the drying line. But as the story said, if it's not blowing where you are, chances are it's blowing somewhere else. And you can see. Okay, so boys and girls, this is what I want you to think about today for your journals. Maybe you can draw a picture of some things that the wind makes move. Like maybe you can practice drawing a kite flying in the sky. That's a cool shape to practice. Or maybe you want to draw a sailboat out on the ocean. Maybe you can make the sail look like a triangle. The wind helps the sailboats move. Or maybe you want to draw birds flying in the sky and you can just draw simple birds with little curves because they help. The wind helps the birds fly too. You think about it. It's your choice. I hope you have a great day.